First off, I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. Second, we are finally here on the final episode. Episode number 12, it is the finale. It's finite. It's fiend. We are here in the last episode of Married Couple. And, at the end of the episode, I have to be honest with myself and you and say, hey, I'm a little unsatisfied at the end of the anime. But at the same time, because the end of the season, or the end of I'll say the end of the anime, because we don't know definitively yet, season or not. But I would say the end, I am satisfied with it because it was just so damn cute, right? I think the scene, like the unspoken thing, right? The scene with Shiori and Akari essentially racing for Jirou's love, right? These two girls go, and they basically meet eye to eye, and they race to the shrine. And Jirou's there, confused AF, not knowing what the hell are these two girls doing, just seemingly out of nowhere to him. But they know because they conjure up, or they remember a previous conversation they have, and essentially they're racing to the shrine. So whoever gets there first is kind of like the winner of Jirou's love, right? So they're basically racing to the shrine. Then they make a little nod, a little wink and a nod to the fact that this shrine specifically is for lovers, right? It's where you go to basically say, hey, I wanna wish to be together forever with with Lucy, or whatever her whatever person it is, right? And on the way that they race there, they have the cutest scenes ever, to where it even got me like, I don't want to say choked up, but it got me like feeling emotional, right? Because they show a scene with with the two best friends, the two kids playing together. They show a scene where a couple is about to kiss. They show a couple coming out of a hospital, delivering. That they just had, not to delivery to baby, but they just had a baby. They show another couple with a small child, walking them down the street. They show an elderly couple together, at the shrine. Like, I just thought it was just so cuteness overload that it got me like all like choked up a bit. And I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, did Jirou choose or not? Not really. But at the same time, we got enough hints, winks, and nods in one direction that we know, right? Because seemingly, the first 55% of the episode was all about Shiori, right? Like, Shiori was being bold. Shiori, she invited Jirou over to her place. She invited, they were alone. And through all these things that happened, right? Through all of these events that happened with Shiori, right? Shiori is really stepping up and really like going after what she wanted. Now she lost the aggressiveness at the tail end, but at the same time, Jirou had the opportunity to kind of maybe take things to the next step. Really clear up the air for what happened, and then probably move things to the next step, move things forward. But when he got shown a picture of their beach time, he got shown a picture of summertime, and he got shown a picture of seeing Akari, his heart immediately spoke for him, and he didn't speak up. He just enjoyed his time with his best friend, or seemingly, one of his best friends, and he kind of left it at that. And then we move on to the next scene with Akari. So I'm thinking, we got enough hints and nods that we know where Jirou's heart and where he really wants to go and who he's meant to be with, right? And I think he's kind of waking up to that himself, very slowly, but I think he's waking up to that himself. It's then the anime goes and does something really killer. They go and accentuate that feeling with then Akari having, she's all up in her own feels, worried about Jirou, worried about losing him, worried about all this stuff. So because she's in her own feels at this point, she then goes and invites Jirou out to a date and makes she's very specific. We're going to have a date. And of course, Jirou being the dumb character that he's written to be, he was like, what does this mean? What does that mean? Does it mean date? Does she mean this? Does she mean that? It's like, no, she meant we're going on a date. And that's what they did. They fulfilled a date. They fulfilled a date that a couple would normally have. And they even got to take pictures of, that a couple would normally take. And they both awakened to those facts as well. Then we move on to the last scene with Shiori. Of course, Shiori popped out of nowhere again, and Akari. So I think, overall, I think the way that they did this last episode, again, left me a little wanting and a little unsatisfied because I really wanted them just to wrap this up, right? Even if they just, even if it was just Jirou really just making, planting his feet down, and we don't really get to see more of after, but at least him planting the feet of, okay, I'm in the camp of Akari, and really like coming out, maybe saying that to her, maybe having a bold moment that is out of character would have been really, really cool. Regardless, it didn't happen. I can't change things. I can't go into the studio and make things happen. So it just is what it is. But what they did do as well in the end is because they did show us that Jirou and Akari and then Shiori and Minami, they moved all the way up to 3rd and 4th place. So they're basically hinting that, if they get greenlit for a season 2, that we're going to see them probably next year swap places. At this point, though, it's a really hard sell for me because, I don't think Akari doesn't want to. Jirou at this point doesn't want to, but they might anyways because that was the plan. So they might succumb to the plan and swap. So I like how they give us a little hint, a little wink that, hey, there's a chance that if they do get greenlit for a season 2, that we know that the next season is them swapping spots because they both made it within the top 10 now. And they made it so far up the list, they made it to spots 3 and 4, which is pretty good too as well. So the things I really love, I love Akari waking up to her feelings. I love her basically saying I'm all in Jirou. I love Shiori kind of saying I'm not waiting anymore. I'm going full tilt. I love Akari and Shiori both recognizing that they're both going full tilt towards this way. I love Jirou, finally kind of waking up to the fact that he's kind of he's more in one camp than the other. He's just restricted by his initial wants, but his heart is telling him another way. So I would say overall, solid. Overall, I'd say the anime, overall solid. A really, really, really solid 8 out of 10 experience overall. Really love this anime way more than I thought. It had a lot of funny moments. I thought it was a fantastic anime. I just wish that the ending would have been a little bit more definitive and concise, but I understand the hope is probably there for the studio to get greenlit for a season 2 and tell more of the story. So I definitely do understand that. So I won't be selfish in that regards. But if they could have wrapped it up, I think this could have been like a 9 out of 10. This could have been like a killer anime that if people discover down the line that they're like, oh my god, why didn't no one talk about this? I still think that people will feel that way. But because of the undefinitive end, especially if there is never a season 2, it kind of makes it a little bit shaky there. But overall, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me all season long. This has been a fantastic experience. I love the ecchi. I love Akari. I love all of this anime, that what it had to offer. I think it was an incredible experience. And I just thank you for being on the ride with me. So put down in the comments down below, what are your final thoughts on this final episode in the comments below. And my friends, I'm going to see you guys in winter season. Peace out. Happy holidays.